Hey guys, Refrigerator here. Today I wanted to make a video that answered your guys' questions. I posted a day or two ago on some of the Facebook groups and a few other places asking what you wanted to know or what questions you had for ONYX Motorbikes. So yeah, yesterday I sat down with the acting CEO of the company to ask him these questions so I could get a little bit of clarity and help fill you guys in, be a little more transparent about everything going on. And so I really hope that this video is helpful for you. It's a little bit of a long one, so hopefully you got get some popcorn or something, sit down, and I want you guys to see my discussion with the current acting CEO, Mig. And I appreciate you guys. Without further ado, let's just get into the interview. Enjoy.
Meg, would you care to introduce yourself and what it is that you do for the company?
Indeed. Hi, everyone. I'm Mig. I am the current acting CEO and president of ONYX Motorbikes. I was thrust into this position in December after everything happened with James. And right now I'm doing my best to keep things going.
Excellent. So obviously people have, a lot of our customers and a lot of people online and stuff, they've had a lot of questions for us and haven't, I guess maybe felt like there hasn't been a ton of communication, which granted there's only a couple of us working. You have more than a lot on your plate right now. So being able to answer everybody's questions is next to impossible with what you're dealing with. So thank you for taking a few minutes to sit down and answer some of these questions that we have. I'm going to shoot off just a couple of little quicker ones for you, and then we'll get into the little spicier questions that we've come across. So first one I got here for you. Do you have any plans for a rear fender for the RCR?
That's a quick one. That's an easy one. Rear fender for the RCR. Sure. If you got some ideas, send them in. Love to see what you're thinking of. Love to see what direction you guys are thinking. We have some thoughts on what we would potentially put out there. But yeah, if you got any suggestions, any ideas, send them my way. I'm open to all the input.
Because yeah, we have one, but it's that like little one. I think people think that's we're here in California, we're like, oh, we don't really need full coverage fenders, so it's, I guess, more for style, you might say.
Exactly.
So.
And one thing I will say is really appreciate the creative solutions that some of you have come up with repurposing the front fender as a rear fender.
Yes.
Epic work, guys.
We
Great looking stuff.
Is there going to be a new bike, like a C2i3 or RCR 2.5 or something like that?
Okay. Well, the CTY2 is still relatively new in its life cycle, so I would not expect a refresh of that in 24. The RCR. So first of all, to clarify, it is technically at 1.5 right now.
Oh, yeah, there's rumors of like a 2.0 and all that.
A lot of the confusion comes from the owner's manual. If you look at the owner's manual, it says ONYX RCR 2.0. It means version 2.0 of the owner's manual, not the bike.
Gotcha.
So the bike is technically still 1.5. Mm-hmm. In my previous position as purchasing director, I did have a plan for moving to what I was calling a 1.75, which would have included a upgraded controller, a different wiring system more similar to the CTY with the external disconnect and stuff, and the what I call the spine design of the harness. We still might take that path, but yes, we do indeed hope to have a revised RCR out by the end of the year. Whether that will be a full 2.0 upgrade or something a little bit more subtle like a 1.75, we will see. But right now that is a goal, but it is not necessarily a priority at this exact moment of the year.
Yeah. I'm assuming a 2.0 would be like from the ground up new bike.
Yeah, I would consider something I would differentiate as a 2.0 as opposed to a 1.75 would be if there are striking visual differences. Mm-hmm. The 1.75 was not going to change the shape or anything about the frame or the geometry of the bike overall. A 2.0 will probably include things like an extended swing arm, inverted fork, perhaps some massaging of the geometry of the bike, but nothing too drastic.
Okay. More on the bikes themselves. Do you think you could get more power by making it like a mid-drive style bike with a little small sprocket up front, big sprocket in the rear?
Okay. Now the difference between hub motor versus mid-drive, speed and power, it's irrelevant. You're going to get the same. You can get the same performance of speed and acceleration out of either type of drive system. Changing something like the RCR to a mid-drive would entail essentially redesigning the entire bike from literally the bottom up.
Yeah.
And so would that be something that we would do with the RCR? No, but we do have a fully fleshed out design for a mid-drive bike. We were making progress on it last year. I really hope that we can continue progress on that and perhaps see at least a working prototype come out sometime this year. But the speed differences and stuff, going from a mid-drive to a hub drive, you're not going to see like differences in night and day of speed or anything. Again, with the mid-drive, you do have the option of working with different gearing, so that is a way that you can work with different speeds and performance characteristics. But yeah, it's a completely different bike at that point to switch to a mid-drive. So, but we are working on that. We do have some plans for that.
Someone was saying more power. Have they seen like the Fire Driver mods with the 8K motors and all that?
Yeah, take a look around. You'll see that with a mid-drive or a hub motor,
You can get power.
you can get some crazy power.
Okay. Here's a similar question, not like a new bike, but someone asked if we looked at doing like an RCR Pro, basically like, these people are doing mods with different motors and controllers, bigger batteries, the extended swing arm, all these aftermarket parts that other companies have come out with. Have we looked at doing a version of the RCR that pretty much already has those sort of mods like installed from the factory?
Right. So that kind of leads into something that I've seen as a direction that the company can go in. Whereas before we were manufacturing all the bikes in-house and, the majority of our time and resources were dedicated to that. Now that we are producing them through an outside facility, through a manufacturer, we do have the freedom to be able to do more stuff in-house. So what I would like to see is that we get to a point where we can have things like a boutique line, a specialty line, one-offs, special custom builds. And one of the things is something like a pro line, a line that's dedicated to peaking out every aspect of the bike, the extended swing arm, the highest power motor, the greatest controller, and working in collaboration with a lot of these great people and companies that are doing third-party work and development for the RCR. We love it. Yeah. And I would actually want to work with you to integrate your great developments into our future bike. But as far as a general bike, I don't necessarily see that happening, but yeah, as something that we can offer in the future where we have boutique, handcrafted, select line, yeah, I would love to see that happen. And it is something that has been in discussion.
Yeah, basically, yeah. We've definitely looked into it.
Oh, yeah.
But once all the puzzle pieces fall in the right places, then we can. Okay, let's move on. I have a couple questions that are a little spicier here. One question was, the bikes were advertised for 60 miles per hour. Why are they not going 60 miles per hour? In the future production, can we make them go 60? So somebody's really stuck on the 60 mile per hour figure. And shed some light.
Right. The 60 mile per hour, it does reach 60 in certain conditions, in certain configurations.
And some bikes are, some go sort of fat, like there's variations a little
There's
bit, right?
slight variations between the bikes as well. But yeah, can you achieve 60 miles per hour on a stock bike? Yes, again, under the right conditions. We're not talking about downhill with a breeze to your back or anything, but just meaning the right temperature, the right voltage on your battery, good charge, and things like that. With a little bit of tweaking of the controller, yes, you can get even more out of it. I do want to see that figure changed in some of our future marketing materials, but yeah, it is possible, but it is not every bike under every circumstance.
Sure. And it's not like it's not like bikes all used to go 60 and now they don't. It's always been kind of a slight mixed bag. Like some people's bikes go faster, some go slower. Okay.
Yeah. And also do realize that there are variations, slight variations. So yes, you might have two bikes right off the line, built right after each other. And one does 57 and the other does 59.
Yeah.
That is completely normal. You go get two Bentleys off of the showroom, consecutive serial numbers, there will be performance differences.
Yeah.
It is just an inherent fact.
Yeah. Kind of any production line, there's small variances and whatnot. So.
Absolutely.
Okay. But so yeah, we're not gonna hold that 60 mile per hour number, but it is possible. So. Okay, this one's a little spicy too. This has been a long time one. Someone's asking why is the CTY2, and this counts for the RCR as well, on the display, why do they have a clock in there if the clock doesn't work?
Okay, that display on both the CTY and the RCR is called the CT22. It's a display that has been on the market for, I would peg it at least 15 years, if not longer. Originally, I first saw it on the very first model of Zero motorcycle that came out.
Did the clocks work on the Zeros?
No, they did not.
Okay.
They historically have not worked in pretty much any application. There have been some workarounds through the years, but in general, yes, they are known to be a problematic thing. They have been for years on a Zero, on an ONYX.
Yeah.
Anybody else that uses them will likely have a similar story.
I'm assuming the answer to kind of like why we still use them even though the clock doesn't work, I'm assuming the rest of the display is just too perfect of a fit for the style, the function, the pricing, and all that.
Exactly. The same reason why Zero picked that whenever they started building their bike, same reason why Tim picked that whenever he was building the first CTY. It's a great display. It's a great display, very robust, weatherproof, takes a hell of a beating, and keeps on working. So yeah, we have stuck with it because it's worked so well in every other aspect
Except for the
other
clock.
than the clock.
There's no other display that works, like fits the job as perfectly as that one with a working like clock. Like there'd be many other compromises, I'm assuming.
Yes. If we were to move on to something else, there would be something that would be compromised somewhere in there.
So we're like, fuck it, clock.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And a lot of the displays out there right now, there's some very iffy ones out there. Some ones that I do not believe would have the longevity.
Yeah.
I mean, we have original CTYs and RCR 1.0s, still have their original display. Sure, it might have a crack or a scratch, but it's still working.
Yeah.
Some of these new ones that are coming out that you find on Temu or something for $2 and $3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in color and yeah, it shows speed and battery, but as we've seen through some of our own private projects on the side, yeah, they lose calibration very quickly. LEDs actually go out on them. So, yeah. But we are open to options. I'm always keeping my eye out for other ideas and concepts out there and displays. But yeah, for right now, for what it does a great job other than the time.
I'm supposing if there is, a RCR 175 or a 2.0, new display would be probably on the list of upgrades.
Exactly. Yep.
Cool. You know, this probably goes into, this wasn't a question on here, but I feel like this is the exact same explanation, if you can confirm for me. A lot of people have asked why there's a USB port on the controls when it doesn't really, it kind of works, but doesn't work. And I feel like it's the same story. Like,
Well, okay, that goes back to, not to bust on anybody from the past, but some odd choices were made whenever they were very first developing the very first wiring system for the very first ONYX bikes. They chose to grab that 5-volt for the USB from the controller, which a little bit of glancing through the manual will clearly state you should not use that for anything like that. It's strictly for switching, not for anything that has a real current draw. That was something that I will take credit for fixing on the CTY. Anybody that's opened up a CTY2 will see that little 5-volt converter. That converter is a separate 5-volt converter specifically just to power the USB port. So it is a revised and functioning system on the CTY2. It would be something that would be part of any revision to the RCR. Will also get that little 5-volt converter. So it has a fully functioning, full power, multiple watt USB port for your phone and other toys.
nice.
So.
Okay. All right, now it's time to get to some real questions here. The first one, a lot of people don't know, or a lot of people know. If they don't know, we moved out of our headquarters, our warehouse in El Segundo, just before Christmas time. So our plan is to be into a new headquarters, a new warehouse, a space that fits our needs and everything a little bit better. Is there a new one? Where is it located? What's the news on our physical location?
Yeah, so yeah, through the second half of December, we did lose our facility on Maple in El Segundo. We are currently office-wise working from home, all of us at our respective places. So what happened to all that inventory, all those tools, all that, everything else that was in the shop?
There's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah. So that is all in a couple of different storage facilities. And we do have the ability to go there and do some work. So we are shipping. We're still shipping parts, of course, and everything. We're able to go to our storage facility, grab parts, pack them up, and get them shipped out and everything. It's a bit of a bear. It is not the easiest process, but we're making it through it. When we do have bikes in stock, we have another facility which they go to, where again we're able to process through the bikes, do work, repackaging and shipping from there. But that is a temporary solution and a temporary situation. I am actively looking for a facility. There are several complications which are affecting this. One of them is, y'all might not realize this, but James was the sole proprietor of ONYX Motorbikes, Inc. And so with his passing, we technically do not have an owner. We are in a probate process where we will be going through the courts to decide ownership and to transfer that successfully and legally and all the other ramifications involved with that. But the complications that's bringing up are things like, yes, you know, here's your lease. Please fill it out by the owner. Having to explain, well, we don't necessarily have an owner. Okay, well then the executor. Well, probate has not even assigned us an executor yet. So there's a lot of hiccups that are impeding me being able to just go out and, hey, let's get a new place.
Yeah.
Money is, of course, a consideration, but even with that, it is more the technicalities behind it that are preventing us from immediately taking a place.
Yeah.
One situation that we're looking at, which will hopefully come to fruition in March, is moving into a shared space with a local vendor that has extra space in his facility. We hope to be able to do that. That will also give us some space to have a showroom of sorts so that people can come and test ride and check out the bikes in person, and also be able to do pickups in person.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of people for coming in for service, picking up parts, test rides, all that sort of stuff. That
Yeah.
a lot of people have been looking for that lately. We're like, we don't have that right now.
Exactly, and it is a weird situation, both for us and for you. We're doing our best. Like I say, this next step of this shared location will give us the ability to have a centralized place that people can come to. Does this mean that we'll have a workshop there, that we will be doing all the service on the bikes there? No, not necessarily. Alex will still be doing work from his shop, and we'll still be doing the occasional pickup and drop off locally as well. But yeah, it's baby steps. I would hope by April or May that we would have something more solid and more locked in for going forward and progressing.
Ooh. I have 2 more questions for you here. This is probably the most popular question as far as customers that currently have bikes on order.
Yes.
With us, a lot of people wonder what's the current wait times. What can you tell us about the production of bikes right now? How's that going? What restrictions are we running into? What's going on with that?
So a little bit of background. Through the course of 2023, under the previous administration, there were choices made to move production overseas. They chose to go with a specific manufacturer. There have been some delays and issues getting the whole process started, getting it up to speed, and getting their build to be where we need it. Unfortunately, we're still coming across some hiccups with it. So we have received 1 shipment of RCRs that we were able to process through and ship.
Yeah.
We are currently waiting on a shipment of CTYs.
Are those are built?
They are built, they are packed. They were supposed to get on the water before China went on break 3 weeks ago. For whatever reasons that I will not go into, the manufacturer did not get them out on time before the break, so they will be 3 more weeks delayed. We are hoping that they will leave this week. We do not have confirmation that they will leave. We do not have confirmation that they have been booked yet. So we are doing our best to get as much information from this manufacturer as possible, but it is a terrible uphill battle at every step of the way with them. We hope to have confirmation that the CTYs are on the water very soon. I expect it to be a 3-day transit. As soon as we have them, we will immediately begin processing and shipping those out as well. Following that, we also have a shipment of RCRs coming in. And that, again, we are also waiting for confirmation on the timeline for that from this manufacturer. As soon as we do hear something, we will let you know. But as odd as it is, no, I do not have an exact timeline. They have not provided it to us, and have been very hard to communicate with over the past couple of months.
That does sound crazy. I guess at the end of the day, though, I think anybody's main question is going to be like, well, if I bought a bike, is that bike showing up? Is it getting made? Because it sounds like we almost don't know what we're doing, and there's hurdles, there's complications like you mentioned, but I guess the main thing is, are the bikes getting made?
Yes. Now again, due to the lack of communication from this manufacturer, I cannot get very simple things like an inventory report, a production report. I cannot even get pictures of production progress. We've asked. They refuse to send anything. So I have to, unfortunately, on blind faith, accept what they say, even if it's conflicting to statements that they have made in the past, saying X number of bikes have already been produced. And then we ask them again weeks later, oh, not a single thing has been made yet. These are the kind of problems that we're dealing with this manufacturer. And it's, yeah, I feel like a fool sitting here saying these things because how the hell can you do business like this? I don't know. I don't know. And unfortunately, this is the situation that I've been left with to pick up and try to fix and clean up.
Sounds like, yeah, everything pretty much just kind of like fell right onto your lap. The main last question, which we've mostly touched on, but if you want to try and wrap it up in any way, simply people want to know what's up with the state of the company. People have asked, you know, financially, people have thought, oh, are you guys bankrupt? Are you still in business? But yeah, what?
Okay, so when everything went down and I first stepped up and took this position, my only goal, my only focus was to clear out the back order and get everybody the bikes that they already got.
Okay.
Now that we are progressing through that, I'm starting to be able to think of things like the future. What I would like to see is us get to a point where we have the RCR and the CTY being produced by an outside manufacturer to our specs, to a high degree of quality, which I will sign off on. And with the improvements that I mentioned and everything, some of the upgrades and everything. But I would also like to see us be able to start doing more of, like I mentioned earlier, the boutique idea, where somebody could come in and say, you know, I saw that dude doing 80 miles per hour on his bike. I want one that does that too. Only I want mine all purple, pink, and yellow, and I want it to be, you know, have that body kit like that guy in New York bought that one. You know, and be able to straight up just be like, yeah, sure, excellent, we'll do it. Be able to have a lot more available in the ways of accessories, whether that's third-party or in-house developed accessories, being able to expand the options that we can offer people, and also working in collaboration with some of these people that are making third-party stuff for us, for our bikes. Cross-promotion, man, you know, I get your cool-ass part on our site, and, you know, people will buy it, and it's coming directly from you, so... Yeah, I would like to see us be a lot more active with the people that are out there supporting the brand, and see us supporting them as well.
Yeah. You know, people have mentioned like, oh, bankruptcy. I mean, that's
okay. Bankruptcy is a word that has been thrown around in several different ways. I will say that has been an option that was looked at by previous administration. It is not a path I want to take. It is not a path I want to see. It's not the way I want to go. So my hope right now is we're hoping for investment or a potential buyout even. A lot of the people that I am talking to as far as investments or potential buyouts or mergers, they do see the value in what we have as the community. The community is one of the most important things that we do have. Yeah. And it's thanks to people like everybody out there watching this video. Thank you. Yeah. And so I do hope that somebody can come in and give us the injection that we need to keep going, and to not just keep going, but to grow, to move forward.
We have ideas.
yes, we can squeak by and keep things going, but that's not going to get us anywhere. You guys want to see a new bike. We want to see a new bike. We want to see growth. We want to see expansion. We want to see new products, new things on the horizon. And right now, financially, given the means that we have right now, it's very tight. It's a very, very hard financial situation that we're in right now. There's several very, very unusual arrangements and agreements that we are locked into that are dictating a lot of what we can and can't do. Technically, right now, we cannot even claim bankruptcy because there is no owner to claim bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So even at that, we are still at the mercy of the courts to decide who the owner is, and then that person or persons would be able to then decide and move on. But yeah, it's not a path that I want to see us go down. I know that there are people that are supporting us solely to prevent that from happening, and hopefully their support will continue. But yeah, we don't want to go away. We don't want to disappear. We don't want to fold. We don't want to sell out. We don't want to go out of business. We want to keep going. We really do. I really do want to keep this going, and I not just keep it going, but again, grow and move on and expand. So yeah, anything that you might hear about bankruptcy, realize that is the last resort. That is the last straw. That whenever you do hear about a real bankruptcy and you hear it from us, know that we have done everything we can conceivably do to prevent getting to that point. It's hilarious. Any reasonable business person that I explain my situation to, they hear it and they're just like, why don't you just declare bankruptcy and walk away from this and start all over again? They don't understand. For one, like I say, I do have the support of a certain situation that was set up, and these people are doing what they can to help prevent bankruptcy, slowly prevent bankruptcy. So hopefully with their support, we can continue and get past that. Just to put it out there, I'm open to all offers. If you know somebody, get them in touch. Investment, buyout, merger, anything that keeps us alive.
So I'm kind of gathering thoughts if I were to sort of sum up the situation, is that we're in an extremely complicated limbo period right now where there are a lot of layers and a lot of steps that need to happen before anything else can happen, which a lot of it is just been dumped in our laps that we just have to go through a process of, all the while, in the meantime, we have a lot of orders and commitments that we need to make happen because that's what we're going to do. So our day-to-day is filled with fulfilling and getting orders fulfilled and all that, while in the background getting this just kind of bizarre limbo sorted out. So I'm assuming the main thing we need is essentially just support. Hopefully this video can help people, fill them in. We're not like asking for any pity or anything, but maybe an ounce of patience while we work this out, because we are very passionate about the brand and just want to make everything just badass again.
Yeah. Understand now. Now, like I say, I'm not the owner. We technically have no owner. So if ONYX all of a sudden blows up into a $10 billion company, I'm not making a dime. I would love to see this company explode into something huge. And understand that it's not to enrich Mig's personal fortune or anything. I will get nothing out of it other than my paycheck, and I'm fine with that. That's why I say, I'm not looking for some epic deal that's gonna, set me up for life or something, because for one, I'm not in the position to expect that. For two, I don't even want or need that. I want to see the company continue, and the products and the lifestyle and the fun continue. So yeah, I'm not looking for some big score or something. This is not a money grab. This really is a passion project for me. I mean, I'm fortunate that I do get a paycheck, but even without it, I would still. This is the kind of thing that it's a passion project. It's not a money grab or anything. So understand that, if anybody does want to talk about numbers or investment, know that it's not to enrich anybody's personal coffers. It is strictly to save the company and keep it going. Sure. And yeah, we are in some exceptionally weird situations legally and financially. With James's passing, there was not a will. There was not any, anything lined up for any type of progression in such a case. And so I'm even talking to lawyers, like explaining the situation. Owner died, no immediate successor, no will, and everything, and they're even stumped. So it is a very unusual situation. And again, if any of you out there do have any input on this, I am open to all suggestions. I am by no means above anybody else's information or opinion. So please, if there's anything that you or somebody that might be able to do, I'd love to hear from you.
I'll put your email down in the description. So, okay, that's all the questions I had for now. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to everybody out there that has a bike, had a bike, is desperately waiting for their bike. Thank you for everything over the years, for building the community that we have, for making the ride-outs that we do so epic and fun, for the creativity, for what you do with these bikes. It's amazing. It's amazing seeing these things are rolling canvases, technically, artistically, in every way, and like I say, this is a passion project for me because it's a passion project for you. Just as much as you might get off on, some hype-ass new accessory or something for your bike, I get off on some hype-ass new business thing that will make us better. But it's the passion and the energy that all of you put behind it that keep us going, to keep it going. And I just want to say thank you. Really, if it wasn't for the community and everything behind the product, I probably would have walked away months ago whenever everything happened. But no. And I'm very open to anybody that has comments or anything. Please do go ahead and talk to me. My email will be in the footer.
You can leave
right here. Maybe Jeff will do a graphic here. But yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, and then thank you for taking your time to talk to everybody and leave any other comments you have down below. We're open to it all. So,
Indeed.
thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
Take
All
care.
right, Jeff.